had to be you. Wonderful you, it had to be you.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond the doubt, my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. It's far beyond the star, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt, my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. Just as before, happily we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing, and never again I'll go sailing.
I have a feeling, it's a feeling I'm concealing, I don't know. It's just a mental, sentimental out. But I adore you. So strong for you. Why do you want stalling? I am falling. let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Our hearts are limited. Let's take a chance. Why be afraid of it? Let's close our eyes and make our own paradise. Little we know of it, still we can try to make a go of it. We might have been there for each other, to be or not to be, let our hearts discover. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it while we are young. Let's fall in love. Other, to be or not to be, let our hearts discover. Let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it while we are young. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love. Let's fall in love.
Now this man here is going to take me by the hand, and he's going to lead me down the right path to righteousness and all that other mother jazz in the right tempo. Fly me to the moon, let me swing among those stars, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Jump! Wow!
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin shortly. Please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin shortly. Please take your seats.
It had to be you, my wonderful you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me feel happy, could make me feel blue, and even be sad, kinda glad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might try to be mean, might even be cross, try to be boss, they wouldn't do. For nobody else gives me that thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. Try to be boss, they wouldn't do. For nobody else gives me that thrill with.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin shortly. Please take your seats.
I thank all of you. I thank all.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could ask you to please be seated and enjoy your first course. We will get underway in just a couple of minutes. Please do take your seats at your assigned table. Enjoy your first course, and we will start the evening in just a couple of moments. Thank you.
It's time to make a change in the world. It's time to revolutionize transportation. Imagine a world no longer dependent on oil, but rather filled with a multitude of clean, efficient, and accessible means of transportation. This can only be made possible if we all choose this together. It's the dawn of a new world. Welcome to the era of smart mobility. Transforming Israel into the inspirational worldwide epicenter while developing the next generation of high-end, sustainable smart mobility solutions. We are to be on the forefront of the world's approach to the next step in transportation, cutting-edge technologies, and future business models, while promoting Israel's goal of a 60% reduction in oil consumption by the year 2025. forward is entirely in our hands. Together, we can change the world.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for taking part in the 5th International Fuel Choices and Smart Mobility Gala. This evening we're celebrating another successful year in our international effort to make the world a better place. We're trying to make it better by reducing the international dependence on oil and providing people with the freedom to choose the way they move. We're accelerating the process globally to make clean, efficient, and affordable mobility accessible to everyone. To that end, technological innovation is key. What was once science fiction, from the flying DeLorean in Back to the Future or the autonomous driving kit in Knight Rider, is now more or less a reality. And though time travel will have to wait for now, the futuristic visions in these productions is reflected by the fact that smart mobility is not only about taking off in your car or talking to it, but finding smart solutions to make those things happen. In July 2010, the government of Israel passed a resolution stating that it sees research, development, and implementation of technologies that reduce global oil use in transport as a national mission that requires harnessing national resources. It set this goal as a top priority. In January of this year, the Israeli government, spearheaded by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, initiated the National Plan for Smart Mobility. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister is unable to join us, but he recorded this message especially for this evening and for all of you.
I thank all of you for joining us for the 5th Annual Fuel Choices and Smart Mobility Summit. Israel is helping lead a global transportation revolution. Oil belongs to the past. Clean energy belongs to the future. Israel has set the goal of reducing its oil consumption by 60% by 2025. With your help, we'll meet that ambitious goal. We all live on one pale blue dot, to paraphrase Carl Sagan. All of us share the responsibility for keeping the earth alive and clean, for leaving it slightly more beautiful with every passing generation. In Israel, we take this responsibility seriously. Innovative solutions Israel is pioneering will help introduce stability to an unstable region and also serve as a model for the entire world. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for your cooperation. I wish you all a productive summit. I'll say that I think we face an incredible era where your innovations, your ingenuity, your creativity will join everything that we see in Israel. The emergence of new technologies, the rise of big data, the rise of artificial intelligence, the rise of connectivity, all the other wonders that make it possible to achieve the impossible. Create new, clean energy for a new, clean world. Thank you all.
Our other notable absentees this evening are Sheila and Eric Samson. They're the couple who endowed the Prime Minister's Alternative Fuel Prize and for whom the award is named, and they deeply regret not being able to join us here this evening. They are pleased, however, to have the family represented by their granddaughter, Lily Samson, who lives here in Israel. Lily, if you're out there in the crowd, if you'd like to stand up, go on, stand up so that we can all provide you and your grandparents with the recognition that you deserve for your family's remarkable leadership and philanthropic work in Israel. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd now like to invite to the stage Mr. Eli Groner, Director General of the Prime Minister's Office.
Good evening and welcome to everyone, and thank you to all of those who organized it, to our sponsors, to my friend Minister Akunis. I can say that Prime Minister Netanyahu conveys his regrets that he's unable to attend tonight's event, and I know that he regrets not being able to be here tonight because it was almost exactly 2 years ago that the Prime Minister and I had dinner with one of the leading executives from one of the leading automobile companies in the world. And Prime Minister Netanyahu asked him then, what's the breakdown between hardware and software in the current automobile, and what is the expectation for the future? Now, this very senior executive said, well, today, the car and automobile is 90% hardware, the steel, the steering wheel, the tires, and 10% software. That would be the dashboard. But in the future, and I'm already thinking to myself, well, in the future, it's probably going to be 70-30, 60-40, 50-50. This executive said, in the future, it's going to be 90-10 in the other direction. The automobile of the future is going to be 90% software and 10% hardware. That plays to the strengths of Israel. We know what we're good at, and we're beginning to learn what we're not good at. To replicate a car industry that was very similar to the car industry all over the world, we tried to do that a number of years ago. It was a Susita, for those Israelis in the audience. It didn't work out that well. But in the car industry of the future, which is based on the global forces that the Prime Minister laid out earlier, on connectivity, generating big data, married to artificial intelligence, all of a sudden you have the automobile industry of the future, and these global forces actually play to Israel's sweet spot. Now, I have to let you in on a little secret. These global forces of connectivity, big data, and artificial intelligence are not influencing just the automobile industry. They're heavily influencing the global economy. And I think that's one of the reasons that you've seen incredible progress over the last number of years by countries all over the world looking to forge alliances with Israel, because they understand that the engine of growth for the future is driven by things that Israel happens to be very, very good at. And we're really seeing a real change in the world, and that change is for the better. Now, I opened up by saying that we're at 90% hardware, 10% software, but that'll switch. I don't anticipate that just because 90% of the future industry is going to be software, that 90% of global investments will be in software. But we have representatives at this conference from 30 countries around the world, and I implore you, if you can do that 90-10 breakdown, but just make 10% of your global investment in Israel, I assure you that your companies will be for the better, your investment firms will be for the better, and Israel will be for the better as well. I wish you all a great evening and a great conference.
We've created 8 multinational R&D centers, 10 international partnerships, and over 800 partners from around the world have joined our community of entrepreneurs. We are honored you have joined us in celebrating the 5th International Fuel Choice and Smart Mobility Summit in Tel Aviv.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to welcome to the stage the Minister of Science, Technology and Space, Mr. Ophir Akunus. For those who aren't as nimble as Eli Groner, you can either come up the stairs here or just round the side.
Thank you. Shalom lachem and good evening. Mr. Moody Zandberg, World Chairman of Keren HaYesod, my friend, another friend, Mr. Eli Gruner, Director General of the Prime Minister's Office, David Kuznitsky, Chair, World Board of Trustees, Dr. Anat Bonstein, Chairman and Director of the Fuel Choices Smart and the Smart Mobility Initiative, the Honorable Prize winners, Professor Jean-Marie Traxon and Professor Jean Nielsen, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests. It is an honor to welcome you all to the Fuel Choices Gala Dinner for the awarding of the Eric and Sheila Sampson Prime Minister's Prize for Global Innovation in Alternative Fuels for Transportation. The Ministry of Science and Technology is proud to participate in awarding the Prime Minister's Prize for Global Innovation and to celebrate these two great scientists and their research. It is a great honor for me to be the Minister of Science and Technology of Israel, a nation that looks forward with government support toward a brighter future. Israel might be a small country here in the Middle East, but a world leader in all technological fields. Actually, Israel is a powerhouse of science, technology, and innovation. Our history as a people and a nation taught us that knowledge is strength, and when used properly, you can make the impossible possible. Our great minds generate new possibilities around the globe. The possibility for someone to have new chance at life with a new heart, or just the possibility to connect and protect the internet. I'm so proud of our scientists. The meaning of science is, as a Minister of Science and Technology, I keep my promises and encourage a new generation of great minds. This year we have increased the budget and the outreach of all community programs, bridging over the digital divide, mentorship program for young female scientists, summer camps and after-school activities throughout the year. Above all, our initiative to Science Basket. The Science Basket expanded this year and reached up to 90 of the municipalities in Israel. This enables them to customize their scientific orientation according to the needs of their population. They can choose what to focus on: robotics, cybersecurity programs, chemistry, or any other fields. We all share the same goals for the future. This is the reason for which I understand the importance of collaboration and sharing information with other countries. So we are participating in technological projects with new international partners, such as, for example, the recent launch of the Venus, the first research satellite ever built by the Israeli government and the French Space Agency for measuring the quality of planets, water sources, and soil. And in the past 2 years, we have enhanced the scientific cooperation with countries all over the world. We signed new agreements with scientific foundations of Quebec, Canada, with the Californian Institute for Medicine at the USA, with Slovenia, Slovakia, and Greece in Europe, and with Vietnam, in China, and Japan in Asia. We have established relations with Latin America and Africa. Thus, we signed just this year agreements to promote scientific cooperation with Argentina and Colombia, and initiated a special program to promote cooperation with countries in Africa. I take pride in the Ministry's commitment to the field of alternative fuels. The need to develop alternative fuel sources is clearer now than ever. Ladies and gentlemen, I could wish for no better partner in this critical mission than Eric and Sheila Samson, who you can applaud them. We have made this all possible through their contribution to the Prime Minister's Prize. The Samsons are vital partners in this effort and many other philanthropic works, and I salute their generosity, all they have done and continue to do in support of Israel and the Jewish people. So, thanks a lot. We appreciate their support. And thank you for joining me tonight to celebrate Professor Marit Rakson and Professor Jean Nielsen and their remarkable achievements. My congratulations to the owners, and I wish you all a pleasant evening. Toda Rabba, and warm greetings from Jerusalem. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Akounnis. If I could just ask people to try to keep the volume down a little bit when people are speaking here, as it's not easy to hear them when there's a lot of background noise. Please join me now in welcoming Keren Hayasod World Chairman, Mr. Eliezer Sandberg.
Shalom, good evening, Erev Tov. Your Excellency, the Minister of Science and Technology, my friend Ophir Akounnis, Director General of the Prime Minister's Office, my friend Eli Gruner, my partner, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Keren Hayesod, David Kushitsky, and my friend and his wife Sarina, Mr. Michael Mirilashvili, the Isaiah Award recipient of Keren Hayesod, Lily, Samson, and Aviv Elkraif, who are here with us this evening, Yitzhak Appelhoig, Professor Appelhoig, the award winners, Anat Bronstein, who just started, and I wish you a lot of good luck and success in your position. Ladies and gentlemen, when I was the Minister of Science and Technology, I remember that they presented me some ideas, some concepts, some basic research that started in the field of technology and innovation for the vehicles, for cars. In that times, it was just an idea. Today, I stand here and I feel proud that almost in every new car that is going down from the production line, there is something that has started in those ideas some decade ago. And I feel proud as an Israeli that we have in Israel so much to offer in the field of innovation and in every aspect of it. I remember when the Prime Minister, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, initiated this initiative of alternative fuels. The idea in that time was not to aim to Israel. Israel is a small country. I think that the proportion is that we consume in Israel in a year the amount of fuel that the world consumes in a day, or even less than a day. But the idea was to take the innovation and push it in a direction that will make a difference and a change. Part of it is the environmental difference. I would like to touch some other aspects. In that time, 2010, ISIS was a word that was not known to anybody. But later on, we understood the connection between oil that is in the wrong hands and the ability to finance terrorism. The ability to reduce dependency on oil also means less income to those countries who use that, or organizations who use that to finance terrorism, to build atomic bombs. This is maybe a side effect of the initiative, but nevertheless a very important one when you look around here in this neighborhood of the Middle East, and I think it has its own contribution also to a more peaceful world. everybody speaks about the combination or integration between technology and cars, something that was very unacceptable maybe a decade ago. But it's not only about the electric cars that are here, the electric cars. It's not only about the autonomy cars that are on the way. It's also about the ability to have other options as alternative for fuels. And I can mention some: hydrogen, methanol, biodiesel, natural gas. I think that maybe for the first time after more than 100 years, we are reaching a time where an owner or a driver of a car can step in and decide which fuel to use in order to drive his car. And there are different options and different alternatives. And thank you for making the other people quiet at the back. I want to touch one more point before I conclude. A car stays in our world, they told me, between 15 to 17 years. It doesn't mean that you drive the same car for 17 years. Usually it moves, you know, it runs between owners, it runs between countries and continents, but there are always drivers from the car that steps down from the production line today, that will use it for the next 17 years. And they will not have electric cars or other options. They will have the regular cars. And we need to look into their world and their countries and to understand what does it mean if we can offer and introduce them with alternatives to the fuel they need to use today. These are part of the challenges that we are facing. When the Prime Minister initiated this initiative, he found partners, Sheila and Eric Samson. Both of them, as a couple, are among the most leading people and most important leaders of the Jewish world in our times. They announced that they are on board, that they are partners to the vision. And this is how the Sheila and Eric Samson Prime Minister Award was created. And I would like to thank Sheila and Eric Samson for their generosity. I would like to thank Sheila and Eric Samson for their leadership in Keren HaYesod world, their leadership in the Jewish world, and their support for every important initiative that is coming out for the benefit of this planet Earth. I congratulate the winners of the award for this year. I wish again B'atzlacha to Anat, and for all of you, have a pleasant conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eliezer Sandberg. Just another request, please, to keep the noise down when speakers are speaking here, as it's very distracting for them, and means that they can't be heard very easily. Thank you. Now, as we've heard, we have, as well as the Prime Minister, a couple of other significant absentees this evening from Eric and Sheila Samson. As you've heard, they unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight. However, they are watching this, which is being streamed live over the Fuel Choices website. So I'll make sure that I get the statement that they sent to us correct. This is from Eric and Sheila Samson. Unfortunately, Sheila and I could not make this very special gala dinner tonight, as my doctors would not allow me to fly from California. A special thanks to my granddaughter, Leora, Lily Samson, and Aviv for representing us here tonight. Also, we would like to thank the Prime Minister for allowing us to partner with him 5 years ago in this very prestigious event of alternative energy, which was close to his heart and ours. Scientists have come from far and wide to be here at the conference over the next couple of days. Heartiest congratulations to this year's winners. They thoroughly deserve this award for what they have achieved. To all participants, we wish you a wonderful stay in our beloved Israel, and good luck in all your future endeavors. Thank you one and all for coming tonight to ensure this event is a success. Enjoy the evening. We are with you in spirit, Eric and Sheila.
Over the past 5 years, $90 million have been invested in R&D, $5 million awarded from the Eric and Sheila Sampson Prime Minister Prize, and $35 billion of cumulative capital have been raised.
I'd now like to invite to the stage Mr. David Koshitsky, Chair, Keren Hayesod, World Board of Trustees.
Okay, I'm from the old generation. I can't get this thing to work properly. But I would like to welcome the minister. I'd like to welcome Eli Grone, the Director General of the Prime Minister's Office. Just joining us now is Yoav Horowitz, the Chief of Staff of the Prime Minister's Office. And of course, my good friend and former Minister, Moody Sandberg. Anybody out there who knows me professionally should be asking one question. What the heck is somebody whose one of his businesses is exploration and production of gas and oil doing up here giving an award like this? It's a good question. But I also represent Keren Hayesod, an institution that's been around for 100 years with one goal: to raise money from communities around the world and help create the Jewish state, the land of Israel. Anybody who came here, you may have flown on an airline that we helped create, El Al. You come into the city of Tel Aviv, the Symphony. That's Keren Hayesod. You go to Jerusalem, the Hebrew University, founded by Keren Hayesod. For over 100 years, we have been raising money from Jews and friends of Israel from around the world. But you know what we've needed all that time? Significant and tremendous donors who understand what's going on. And it's my privilege to be associated with the Sampsons. They have led the way in this generation for Keren Hayesod. Whether it's the hospital in Ashkelon, whether it's this prize, which is now in its 5th year, they are open-minded, they are generous, and they truly define what a true couple are. And it's an honor and pleasure to be associated with them. They are leaders within our organization, and they are leaders within the world Jewish community. I would also like to say that this award, which is in its 5th year, is being given to our two winners, Professor Taras Korn, who was key in the emergence of the present lithium-ion battery materials, and Professor Nielsen, who's a pioneer in metabolic engineering. Professor Taras Korn has been to Israel many times. Professor Nielsen and his wife, this is his first trip since 1979 when he came as a child. We welcome them both here. We are honored to be participating in something that is creating and helping the future of the State of Israel, which is the mission of Keren Hayesod. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
As we speak, there are 550 active companies in our ecosystem. 300 different research groups are working on the next big invention, and 30 pilots are fully supported in becoming the leaders of tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite to the stage, to welcome to the stage, the Chairman and Director of the Fuel Choices and Smart Mobility Initiative, Dr. Anat Leah Bornstein. Anat.
Thank you. Traffic jams, congestion, road accidents, air pollution. This is a situation, a global situation. And the global situation should be treated as a global mission. And that's why 5 years ago, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu launched the Fuel Choices and Smart Mobility Initiative with the aim exactly to do that, to treat this as a global mission. On the one hand, to help startups and industry and encourage R&D, but on the other hand, also to treat the local market. Now, those of you who heard my lecture this morning heard about the different activities we do under the initiative. But as far as international collaboration and raising the world awareness of this global situation that needs to be treated, one of the activities that was launched together with the Ministry of Science and Education and Keren Hayesod is the Samson and Sheila Prize. It's the world's biggest energy prize. And I know that Sheila and Eric are listening now in California, and I'm so sorry that they're not here, but I truly, truly, truly thank you for that, and I think we all do, for your great generosity and for your families, for Lily who is here, and for the rest of your family. And we wish you a lot of health. Just to note that every year we get more and more nominees for the prize, which also goes to show the interest that this prize has, that everyone sees this as a global mission, both on the industry side and also on the research side, and also on the government side. Sitting in my office, I have a couple of different statements that the former director left for me to look at sometimes. And a couple of them are kind of touching for me. Abraham Lincoln said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." Theodore Roosevelt said, "Believe you can do it, and you're halfway there." And Walt Disney said, "You can dream it, then you can do it." At the Fuel Choices Initiative, the Fuel Choices and Smart Mobility Initiative, we dream and do every day. We strive to help make a better world. Together we are partners of the different ministries. That's what we do. And I want to take this chance to thank, first of all, the Prime Minister's office for their great generosity. Mr. Eli Gruner, the General Director, really sorry that sometimes there's such a nudge, but we try to do our work the best way we can do it. I also want to thank all of our government partners. They're actually the ones behind our everyday activities promoting. And now I want to take this opportunity to thank my team. If you could please just stand up for a second, because above all, you deserve a round of applause. Everything here today, but not just today, everything behind this whole thing, but everything behind everyday activity that we promote and the government resolutions that we pass, it's their work. And I couldn't have asked for a better team. They're a very dedicated team. Last thing that I want to say is that should be sitting over there, was one of my two personal guests of honors. He was supposed to sit there. He waited so much for this event, and he was so excited for it. He was so excited for me, because he believed in what I do. He believed in everything that we are promoting together today. He believed in me. And he followed my dreams and my success and my challenges on a daily basis. But above all, he was my father. and he surprisingly passed away less than 2 weeks ago. And if he was here, he would be so proud to see all of this happening, all of the international guests, 30 countries from across the world here in Israel coming to this event that we as a government have invited you to. And I dedicate this event for him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anat. The State of Israel would not have achieved much of its progress without the generosity and help of a number of families. Now, as we've heard already this evening, Eric and Sheila Sampson are Jewish business leaders and philanthropists devoted to the State of Israel. At $1 million, the Sampson Prize is the world's largest monetary award in the area of alternative fuels. It's given to scientists who have made critical advancements in the field. Nominees for the prize can be citizens of any country that are actively engaged in innovative, paradigm-shifting research worthy of widespread attention. Here are the winners of this year's prize.
As a child, I always liked to build stuff, and this objective to build and create something has always been very important in my career. We face global warming, and that is related to CO2 emission. How we're going to solve it can be in many different ways. We are working on engineering metabolism of yeast, but we are changing its metabolism so it can produce new valuable chemicals that we can, for example, blend into jet fuels or diesel for heavy trucks. And this way of producing alternative fuels has the benefit that it reduces greenhouse gas emission. By understanding and studying metabolism, we begin to look at what is happening in cancer cells, for example, what is happening in other disease developments. And so all these things are common denominator where understanding of metabolism is very valuable. We are probably not going to run out of oil for still a foreseeable future, but it is about greenhouse gas emission and establishing cleaner technology so we can begin to save this planet. Looking and studying and understanding metabolism can be really a golden key to solve many of the societal problems moving forward.
When I start my research, for me what was important always try to make something useful. All my work is dealing with the development of other type of batteries, because I think if you work on this field of energy storage, you can do fascinating research for human society. Till now, you may know it, the battery is simple electrochemical reaction, and which in this type of batteries that we are developing, which are lithium-ion batteries, what we are using today. And now we are able really to make compounds, and with oxygen, is becoming also active center. And in this case, you can double the capacity. So you can increase the autonomy of the batteries. When you look now at batteries, they become more or less a heart of the society. In the next coming years, as a professor, we have a huge mission to develop new materials for energy storage. Teamwork is for me essential. And when I came back to France, I created a European network to bring different types of European labs together in order to be more mindful and research. And I think the greatest revolution comes from this kind of visionary persons. So you can see that things are moving with a large amount of research, exciting research, with new concepts and new materials.
I'd now like to invite to the stage the following people. Lily Sampson, Minister Akunis, Eliezer Sandberg and David Kushiski from Keren Hayasod, Technion President Yitzhak Apeloig, and Dr. Anat Bonstein. If you'd all like to come up to the stage, please. Come from whichever direction you wish. We all here? And I'd also like, of course, the award winners to join us on stage as well. Professor Jens Nielsen and Professor Jean-Marie Tarascon. And I think we can present the awards now. Photographers would like to take some nice snaps of you. Another round of applause for our award winners. We're now going to hear a few words from both of our award winners. Professor Nielsen, if you'd like to go first, we'll then hear from Professor Tarascon. Professor Nielsen, if you want to say a few words, save your big speech for tomorrow, and then Professor Tarascon immediately after that.
Thank you. First of all, let me thank the Samson, Eric and Sheila Samson, for instigating this award. It's extremely visionary. I also want to acknowledge very much the initiative established. This is fantastic. I think this is the kind of things that needs to be done in order to bring forward alternatives to the transportation sector. Our research is focusing on developing microbial cell factories for production of drop-in fuels that can be used for cars, but also for planes, heavy trucks, and ships. And so I hope also with our research we can contribute to this development towards establishing a more sustainable society and have a cleaner world, as the Prime Minister was advocating for. Thank you very much.
Professor Tarascon.
So good evening, everyone. Dear ministers, dear Samson family, dear colleagues, dear all. I am truly honored and proud to be the recipient of the 2007 Samson Prize, and this for several reasons. Firstly, this prize bears a lot of meaning to me as it is awarded by a country that has always been exemplary towards smart mobility, but also towards tackling sustainability problems through outstanding research in the field of energy storage and conversion, biofuel, and so on. Secondly, I see this international recognition as a full awareness of the importance of mondialization in attacking energy-related problems that are critical for humanity. And I am thrilled by the friendly and prolific interaction that rule the energy research community worldwide. Thirdly, this recognition gives me the opportunity to thank all my talented collaborators that I have been blessed to work with through the years, either in the United States, in Europe, in France, and presently at the Collège de France. They all deserve a lot of credits, as it is these encounters that have shaped the researcher that I became. Lastly, and not least, this prestigious Energy Award for Innovation is an incredible stimulus for pursuing my ongoing research. That is a risky research dealing with the life monitoring of batteries and also their self-healing like human bodies. This is essential for securing reliable and long-life storage systems. But I should confess that having the opportunity to pursue such research in a field as fascinating as that of energy is already happiness by itself. So, as a way to conclude, let me express once again my deepest gratitude to you, Minister, to the Samson family, and let me state once more my will to further arouse young researchers and our research community towards acting for a better planet. In short, I will strive to be a good messenger to foster creativity and innovation in recognition of the Samson Prize spirit. Thank you all.
We've placed 62 electric buses, 150 CNG buses, and 25 CNG urban garbage trucks so far, as well as 250 electric car charging units and 500 subsidized EV taxi medallions. We also established the first global standard for M15.
Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I see the ice slowly melting. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
תודה רבה. Thank you.
Thank you, Anja Buchstein, for that rendition of Here Comes the Sun. We can give her another round of applause. And a round of applause for our dancers, Meyumana. And of course, a great big thank you for the Fuel Choices and Smart Mobility Initiative for putting on this wonderful evening and the wonderful summit. Congratulations, Mazal Tov, once more to our award winners, Professor Nielsen and Professor Tarascon. If you wish to hear their full lectures, then do join us for day 2 of the summit at the Habima Theatre. Tomorrow we'll be starting at 9 a.m. promptly. Have a wonderful evening. My name is Elliot Gotkin, and enjoy your meal. Thank you.
My wonderful you, I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me feel happy, could make me feel blue, and even be sad, kinda glad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might try to be mean, might even be cross, try to be boss, they wouldn't do. For nobody else gives me that thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you, it had to be you. Try to be boss, they wouldn't do. For nobody else gives me that thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you. wonderful you, it had to be you.
Somewhere beyond the sea,